Do you think it's ethical for an ultra-processed food manufacturer to partner up with a national medical association, like cigarette companies back in the day sponsoring doctors? In other words, would it be okay if Coca-Cola worked alongside the American Medical Association to examine what it means to be healthy and to help find solutions? In the pet nutrition world, we know the British Veterinary Association and Mars Pet Care, makers of Royal Canin and Pedigree, are working together to examine the links between pet nutrition, human behavior, and healthy body weight in pets. Now, this is something that is absolutely infuriating and something that the majority of people simply aren't aware of. Let me tell you something. If I control the vast majority of pet food sales in the world, wouldn't it make sense for me to also control all the channels? For example, trade bodies like FEDIAF or AFCO. Would it not be worthwhile for me to have a seat at the table? Would it not be worthwhile for me to write the rules and regulations, for me to write the nutrition manuals veterinarians then read at university? And we know this because we have a couple freedom of information requests here in the UK, where a lot of these big food corporations were, if not bribing, they were getting something in exchange for benefits, for a seat at the table. What happens when one of these pet food corporations also has shareholding interest in veterinarian practices? What happens when those veterinarian practices sell the very products that shareholders want them to sell, because they also control that company, because they also have a seat at the board? Now, you cannot call them corrupt because this happens in every single industry, but you can call it for what it is, which is lobbying and control. What they are trying to do is control every single thing. They want to control the narrative, they want to control rules and regulations, and they want to do this behind a veil that we do not agree with. So it is absolutely right for Rodney to point this out, because this is something infuriating and something that the public doesn't really know much about. So whenever they get a food recommended at the veterinarian, at the corporate veterinarian, they do not know that the pet food company has a shareholding interest in that vet.